Hey, how y'all doing? I'm back with Indescribable. And yeah, I find that I do most of my coloring in front of the TV, so I'm not able to just plug in and let y'all watch me color at any time. So I'm having to be intentional on making videos. Pencils for today. I dug out my Prismacolors. I know. You probably didn't even remember that I had them. $9.95 mulberry, $9.34 lavender, $9.14 cream, $10.04 chartreuse. It's yellow chartreuse. And then regular chartreuse, which is $9.89. All right, so get these in color order. There we go. Let's zoom in. I'm going to be doing another flower like this. Let's do this one. So I don't know, I just started playing with it and then I liked it so much. I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to share this with my friends on YouTube. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to start with my cream color. And I come in around here, okay? Let me get up and look one more time. Is this, yes, this one's in. So I did it right around there. All right, so I'm going to do the cream. And do you see, instead of doing little circles, I'm doing strokes. The long strokes are directional, meaning they're actually going the direction that these flower petals are growing. So now I'm curving this way. Okay? Just get it right down there good at the bottom. Now, yes, I started doing circles, but I wanted to get the long parts in first so that this up here would be kind of zigzaggedy, whatever the word is. All right, so that was the cream. Now I'm going to go to my yellow chartreuse, or whatever color you're using. I would say 5 colors is good for this because it is a nice big area. So now I'm going to come in. Now, the strokes that I'm using on this, if this is the paper, I'm doing this and then lifting off, this and lifting off, okay? So lifting. And what that does for me is it does some of that blending. It keeps all the strokes very irregular. And it does the blending. That's the main thing, is it's just keeping it all uneven, which is more natural in nature than to see me come around and try to blend everything in the same. So just the way I prefer it on this. Now I'm going to go ahead and get here. I'm getting the parts that are humped up into that base. Okay? That's what I did down here. I did what was humped in. Then I came to the regular chartreuse and I did what was down in those V's. Remember, we've talked about V's in the past. So now I'm going to come in and get some of the chartreuse down in here. I'm going to get some down in here. I'm not going to worry about this area or this area. I'm getting down in the parts that are deep and down in. That's what I'm getting. And again, I'm doing that stroke. Just do the stroke work, and it's just going to help it to blend so much easier. And I still need to go back and do some blending on some of these, but Yeah, hubby's got stuff going on tonight, and I thought, oh, good timing. I need to go back to the studio and do some coloring. So that's basically all I'm going to use the chartreuse and yellow chartreuse for. These are going to go to the side now. So now I'm going to go in with, okay, if that was color 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to go in with number 4, which is my lavender. And for you, it's whatever color you choose on the flowers that you're working on. So now I'm going to go from the top down. I'm going to go into what we just did. Okay. And this time I am going to watch. See, this one stops right here, and I want room to go darker, so I'm going to come down here and down in. Does that make sense? This one comes up, so I'm going to go here and just follow those all the way around. See, this one comes way up and it's in the middle, so I've got to go directional. So I go this way here, and straight in the middle. But do you see how that's automatically blending into that cream and those yellow and green, the chartreuse? The thing is, I'm trying to keep this where it's not totally even up here. Nature is not even. And see, I'm not way up here on the pencil. I'm further back, and I'm lifting the pressure as I come down. And if I want to get this dark, I can come in here and darken all this, and then I can do down some more. But I've got to get lighter and lighter pressure as I go down. So as I'm coming down, I'm lightening that pressure. Okay, and I just find it easier to do this. Now, up here, see this one's further down, so I'm going to come down some on it. Now these around here, I'm just barely going to get up here on the back side. Just barely. Okay, now I'm going to go to my 5th color, my darkest. So whatever color you're holding for your deepest color, that's what I'm doing now. And again, pulling that in. Now you've got a couple of choices. If you don't like how your colors have blended, you can come back in with your lightest shade and blend those. You can use a blender, a blending stump, and blend that way. Whatever you feel like you need to do. All right, so I'm really okay with the way that blended, but so this would be my lightest color. If you didn't like what it did, you would just come in here and blend. And that's just adding a little bit more color to that page. Putting more color down in the tooth of that paper. And really blending those colors. Okay? So there's that. And then you could do the same thing here, but in doing that, the lightest color that we use there is actually the lavender. And not the mulberry and not the ivory, but the lavender. So I would come in with the lavender to blend those. All right, let's look at these outside petals. Let's see how we are time-wise, because this does take a little bit of time. 10 minutes. Okay, not bad. So what I would do is come in. Now we're not using these two, the chartreuse and yellow chartreuse. So let's call these colors number 1, 2, and 3. So we'll come in with the ivory. And what I did was did the ivory here in each of these. Just at that bottom part. And I'm not doing much at all in these back ones. That one doesn't get any because see how much it's covered? So you just don't want to put any in there. This is how you're going to get more depth to your page when you're coloring. Okay? So I did that side. Now then, while I've got this in my hand, I'm going to do the tips. Opposite end and do your tips. See, did I do that? Yes. And really, like back here, those are so far back that you really don't need to worry about the tips on those. And you can see I'm not being overly careful in this. On this part, you don't need to. It's just not as important, or shall I say it's not going to show up as much in the end. Maybe that's a good way of putting it. Did I get all my tips? I think I did. So again, we did that side. So now I'm going to go in to my second color, my lavender. Okay, so in the middle, the lavender comes down. See, I'm doing that directional again. Over here, I'm going this way. Over here, I'm going this way. In the middle, I'll go straight. Okay, going to do that all over. Now I'm doing these back ones a little bit different because they don't have that ivory down at the base. I don't have to worry about blending into it. If it's got ivory down there, then I do the strokes. Okay. Straight down the middle and then curve the other direction. When you're doing animals, fur, you want to keep it choppy like this. When you're doing flowers, it really depends on if your flowers are rounded or pointed. Like if I'm doing a bluebonnet, I'm more apt to color in my circles. If I'm doing something like this where I'm really blending as I go, then I'm more apt to do these strokes that I'm doing. So it really, I guess it does really kind of depend on what you're working on. Okay. Moving on around. And again, for this, you don't have to make sure your pencil is super pointed either. Okay, and I did these. You can use whatever colors you want. These are like, you call them dahlias or chrysanthemums, or yeah, it's in the mum family. So just adding some more color to that. Okay, then, and again, all this needs some work. I'm just getting down that first layer so I can show you how I do it. Then let's go ahead and go to the third color. So I'm going to come to the tips and just barely put that color in. See how I snuck up on the pencil? I'm not back here anymore. I really came up here because I'm wanting to get that color in. But do you see the difference of just adding that? And that's how you're going to get added depth to your flowers. It's just going that little bit of extra on any page that you're doing. That little bit of extra attention given to the details can really make your page pop or spring out. Let's see, speaking of spring, I know we're in April. Hey, my birthday is Saturday. So, on Coloring Books Keep It Clean this month, the challenge is to do a page that shows some sort of celebration. So, for you that are watching, how about next month we make the challenge something that's got a building in it, or some sort of a landscape. Just because as we're getting into summer, hopefully we're going to spend more time outside. Maybe we should make it a vacation. A page that shows somewhere that you could go for vacation. Let's do that. Because now that COVID is, I don't want to say it's not right in our face anymore, because I know it still is. But as more and more people are choosing to get the vaccine, it's opening more and more things up. And I'm not saying vaccine is good or bad. There are people that cannot or choose not to. And I'm not going to get into that because that's everybody's personal preference. It really is. But as things are opening up, we have better opportunities to go out there and have vacations and do things. So for Coloring Books Keep It Clean, your challenge next month for May, let's make it a vacation page. So, and I will get that info to Fern. Actually, she'll see it on here and already know. And she can do the album at end of the month or first of next month when I post the challenge. So there you go, Fern. You heard it. A vacation spot. So, all right. Now what we're going to do is look at the outside petals. How am I doing time-wise? Have to stand up and look. 18 minutes. Good. So, and you would continue all the way around here just like you did here. Okay? Same colors. Now what we're going to do is the outside. So what I did was I flipped the colors. Okay? See the light on the tip? And as you get back here, the light on the tip is not going to show as much. There it is, some there. So there it is, some there. But then here, I left it off. So I'm going to flip. Instead of the light being here, I'm putting it up here at the tip. So bearing down on that pencil and just getting that light on the tip. Some of the tips are so small, it's not going to show much. But yeah, just kind of pick and choose. You don't have to do it on all of them. Do it maybe on the ones that are larger. Definitely do it on the ones that are up close. Okay. Then we're going to go to the lavender. And we're going to go into that tip. Okay. Yeah, and I don't know why I start in the middle instead of not starting right over here on the edge. No idea. I know I'm just not chatty. I don't know why. I think I'm tired. Getting ready for company this weekend, so I've cleaned the house. We're getting new recliners tomorrow. Okay, so I think I've told y'all our little saga, ongoing story with Nebraska Furniture Mart. We ordered me a chair and a half for Christmas. We ordered it in December. We were told it would be here in April. No, we were told it would be here in March. Said, okay, it's COVID, we understand. March comes, and they say it's going to be here in April. April came, and it was going to be here in May. Then end of April comes, and they're telling me it may be in June. Now, the sad thing is, as of right now, it has been finished, sitting in a warehouse in Nebraska for at least 4 weeks. Yeah, just waiting on the mart from the Texas area to go up there and get it. Bring it down here. Deliver it to my front door. So we had heard, well, that's just the way it is with every company. So hubby takes me around last week, and we end up at Lazy Boy. Okay, I'm going to color number 3, my mulberry. We end up at Lazy Boy, and lo and behold, they have a sale going on. And at Nebraska Furniture Mart, I had ordered a chair and a half that matches the rest of our living room furniture. All right. And because it's taken so long, they decided, oh, well, we'll do free delivery. Yeah, well, we already paid for that, so what about the time you get to use my money? Anyway, don't get me started. I get so riled up over it. So anyway, we end up at Lazy Boy, and we talked to Melissa, and she's like, well, it can take a while to get the furniture. She goes, but if you want to pick something, and then she said she would actually go look it up on the computer, see if it was in warehouse or not. That woman stayed with us the entire time we shopped. She did not hound us. She walked away when we wanted to discuss things and then came back when we called her. And this was on last Thursday, I think, or Wednesday. Well, then here it is. Wednesday is tomorrow. So in 1 week time, they're delivering us 2 recliners. So we know it's possible. It's just each company is different, and we do understand that COVID has had a lot to do on some of these things. But we know people that have waited 10 months for bedroom suits. And I was just so over it. So anyway, we've been cleaning house and rearranging the living room with the sofas to make room for the recliners. And so I'm just beat. I'm tired. I am so tired. But it'll be worth it because we have one of our daughter's besties who is like a daughter to us. She's getting married in May. In fact, my husband's doing the ceremony. He's doing the premarital counseling with them right now. And so her and her husband are 2 more seats that we needed in there. And then our son and his wife and our daughter and the grandbaby. And then when my parents, husband's parents come, there's another seat. And so we needed more seating anyway. I'm going to come back to the lightest. So anything that's got this color in it, I'm going to blend with it. So anyway, needless to say, long story short, I am tired, but I am so ready to have furniture in there. And we've not decided yet if we're still going to accept the 1.5 chairs when they get ready to deliver it or not. It's going to depend on how the living room looks after the recliners are in there, because the recliners are pretty big, but they're rocking recliners. Y'all, I've never owned a rocking recliner, so I'm pretty pumped about that. But yeah, so we'll finally have seating and furniture that all matches pretty good. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have that. But anyway, that's why I think I'm so quiet tonight. I'm just tired. I've already cleaned the floors in there, cleaned out from under the cushions of the chairs, pulled the other chairs out of the way that weren't pulling out of in there, and just being totally prepped on our end for tomorrow when they bring that. So, alrighty. So there's half of that done. And again, I can do more blending, but you get the idea of how that's going to look. Yep. So there you go. All right. I've walked you through that pretty well. I'm going to go finish the rest of it on my own, and hope to see what you're doing. If you're over in Coloring Books, Keep It Clean, and you're doing a flower and decide to do it this way, I'd love to see what you're doing. I will talk to you in a few days. Thanks for watching. Bye.